Hey crafty friends, this is Jenny from crafttestdummies.com, and today I have another installment in my recent European trip. And today I want to share with you my trip to Le BHV in Paris, France. So this is kind of like a Macy's style department store. It's really big, but surprisingly they actually have an entire floor that is dedicated to Beaux-Arts, or crafty goodness, which also includes fine art stuff too. So I wanted to kind of give you guys an overview of some of the fine art supplies they have, and also kind of point out a lot of the brands that we see here in the States I also saw there. There were only a couple of like brands that were brand new to me, so to speak. So here I start off kind of in the fine art section so you can get a look at the papers and markers and paints and things like that. So I took a lot of still photos, but then I also took some video. So let me kind of walk you through that as well. So one of the interesting things that I saw were these big pots of pure pigment. Now these are expensive. They go anywhere from like 14 pounds to 30 pounds a jar, but this is so that artists can make their own oil paint, watercolor paint, or acrylic paint depending on what pigment they like. I also saw this huge display, just gorgeous, gorgeous, of oil sticks, and there were the big ones, middle ones, small ones, but I was just kind of captivated by these absolutely stunning colors, and so I wanted to share this with you as well. As I walk you up and down some of the paint aisles, you'll see a lot of this acrylic paint, this Amsterdam paint I've got and I have to review yet, but there's Liquitex, the Studio brand, really a lot of the ones that I am used to seeing here. But what was, again, really overwhelming to me is the sheer number of products, like this entire Pibio rack. Just they had the entire PBO line, which I guess makes sense because it was French to begin with. Now, I found these Winsor & Newtons and I wanted to share with you the price because it's about comparable, I think, to what you get here in the States. So again, here's just the watercolor selection. Can you imagine walking at your Macy's or your Dillard's and being able to find like all of the paints and all of the mediums and all of the supplies that normally you would have to go to a Dick Plick or the Michael's Fine Art section, but this is actually bigger than the Michael's Fine Art section as far as selection and variety. But anyways, don't worry. They also had regular craft supplies too, and we're going to get to that right about now. Okay, I guess we're not quite there yet because I wanted to show you all of these marking pens and markers. So a lot of us are kind of marker junkies, right? So this is kind of marker heaven. They've got the Winsor & Newton brand, and they've got the pigment ones and the dye-based ones. They also had Copics there. They had all of the Faber ones. Look at all of the Copics. Yummy. Yeah, I had to really like just sit on my hands. But as I moved into the papers, they had scrapbooking papers and drawing papers, and then also like pattern papers, which is kind of what I'm used to. So as I walked around, then I found the kind of the kids crafting section, and you are going to recognize a lot of Faber-Castell here, which I think is just nice to know that we love good international brands. So now this portion really is more crafty. These are things that you would find at Michael's or Joann's or even at Walmart. I love the wood supplies that you can buy and then decoupage if you want. There was a wall of washi tape, which was fun. And then I found the stamping section. So they had a lot of wood mount stamps, which I think might be a little more prevalent in Europe than the photopolymer ones. They're also just really pretty, but they take up a lot of space. So I got a good peek here for you of all of the wood mount stamps. And then I found a lot of WOW embossing powders and color block stamp pads and also StazOn. And then decoupage seems to kind of be the next big thing over there. There was a lot of decoupage papers and of course Fiskars goodies too. They just had a really nice selection of handheld punches and cutting tools and things of that nature. So there was also some new brands to me. One is this Artemio line. I am unfamiliar with that. But remember I told you about decoupage? Lots and lots of things that people can paint or finish or decoupage themselves. I had to take a picture of all the little tags because I thought that was super cute. And then ribbons, yarns, things that like I don't know. I just was completely overwhelmed that they had all of these products all here in this one store. I mean, they even had all of these things for sewers, and I don't know, it just kind of went on for days. So, also a lot of pretty trims. This was kind of in the sewing section. They did have an aisle here that was kind of scrapbooky, lots and lots of stickers. But do you see the price on that? That is 620 € for a thing of stickers. That is really expensive. I mean, even if it was dollar for euro at this point, you would not pay $6 or $4 for one of those little packs of stickers. Now, they obviously do Halloween and makeup stuff. There was a lot of candle and soap making crafts. I thought that was kind of interesting. And then I did mention the yarn before. I just had to take a little tour of these big, chunky, almost roving like yarns that they had, and weaving too. So it was pretty cool, and I just thought maybe you'd like to see what I got.
So let me go ahead and show you what I purchased at the BHV. And as you can see, I didn't spend, well, I spent frankly a lot of money, but on not a lot of things. So let's just start over here. First, I bought these beautiful Artemio washi tapes. And I just, if you guys know me, you know that I'm in love with this color pathway. I just absolutely adore these teals, and I like this feather motif. So then, as I come over here, this is also the Artemio brand. And if I go ahead and put this piece of paper underneath, you can probably see the feathers better. I've already taken them out of the packaging because I've started using them, but there are some just really nice details. They're almost like little bubbles in some of these. I love the peacock feather, just really pretty, and I thought I could get some good use out of those. Now this is what I spent the bulk of my money on. This is the Gansai Tombi pearls, and as you can see, this is the kind of the pastel palette. I also have the Starry Night palette, and I don't know why I needed these. I probably don't, except they're just pretty and sparkly, and I love them. And then I also bought a Unipen fine liner because I realized my Micron pens are actually not waterproof, and I was getting bleeding everywhere. But I thought I would just take a second and kind of get these juicy for you so you can kind of see them in action. I have reviewed the other Gansai Tombi, like the regular ones, but of course these are super shimmery. So let me just quickly add some water to each of these pots so that you can see. This is called like a semi-moist pan, in that it's a creamy consistency to begin with. It's not like super duper hard, and it really just takes a few drops of water to get them activating. You can see how pretty they are here. And now I'll take a little piece of watercolor paper, and I will show you how they look on the paper. So the one thing my criticism of these is that they are very pastel, and I have a tendency to like more vibrant colors. So when I do a full review of these, I am going to be definitely mixing them because I just need more color. I know if you add a little bit less water, you're also going to get more color, but there's just, these just don't have that much bright color to begin with. These are not brights, they are more like pastels. So let me go ahead and just give this a little color swatching. This is really more of a salmon than an orange. I'm also trying to make sure I don't cross-contaminate too much. I'm pretty messy, so here's the yellow. Really, really pretty golden yellow, lemony color. Go ahead and switch papers and give you a little bit of the green. These are gorgeous colors. They're just not, what I would consider dark and vibrant, because that's not how they are. And it comes with a white, which you will not be able to see on the white paper. But again, when I do my review, you'll be able to see the swatch on black paper. So stay tuned for that as well. And I'm just gonna go ahead though and put some white down, because you'll see it's a pretty, it's such a nice pearly color. If you were doing holiday or winter cards and you wanted to paint this in just to be the snow, you can see just how pretty it is. Here, this one is almost completely dry, but you can see that like shiny pearlescent quality. And when I show you what I made, you'll see how these actually look. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, I had pre-stamped some tags before I went on vacation, and I literally just did a wash around this stamp of Westminster Abbey, and you can see here as I'm moving it, this gorgeous, gorgeous shimmer that you get. I love them for a wash, a little layer of color. They're delicate but very impactful. I also made this tag as soon as I got home, utilizing a lot of the things I bought all in one. So here we've got that beautiful peacock. I stamped it twice. I used some of the Gansai Tombis to make this stripe. I also did some speckling with it as well, and then I used the washi tapes to create a border. And then obviously I was eating some chocolate and I got a little smudge on the bottom, so that's value added. But I like this so much, I'm actually going to replicate it into a card. So one of the techniques I want to give you as a value added with this is using your watercolors with inlaid die cutting technique. Now look at the card, or yes. So take a look at the cards above and you will see that I am including a link to this technique. If you haven't done it in a while, give it another try. I just really enjoy having this like bold look but smooth texture. So here I did it with plain paper, and then look how gorgeous. By the way, this is also that yellow Gansai Tombi. You can see the shimmer, and then here again on this piece of watercolor paper with those watercolors on top. And we don't waste anything. I actually embellished the inside of the card with the cutout. I just thought that was a nice touch. Okay, I wanted to share some other things I made, and remember I'm trying to give you that value added in this. So I want to remind you about the stencil rubbing resist technique. So that's actually what I have used here on this card, and if you want to just see what the background looks like before I stamp over it. So the idea, and look for the cards or look in the link below and you'll see that video. But you're going to use your stencils and some crayons to create a rubbing, and that creates this cool resist. So with this card, I did that technique and I used the Nat Combac stencil, which I love, and then my new rubber stamps from Artemio, and I did a double stamping technique so that it would be dark on one portion but lighter in the middle, and then I cut it and I popped it up and added another sentiment in the middle, which I kind of like too, because you can kind of see how the feather is super light there. It's a cool technique. Anyway, so go check out that video, and let me show you another one I did. Again, using the Gansai pastel iridescent watercolors, and then also my pretty new feather stamps. Now, one more thing, because I know this is going to be a long video, and I'm not going to do a whole thing about the washi tape, but I did create 3 cards using the washi tape, and that reminded me that I had another older video about, or not a video, it was a blog post on 3 ways to make cards with washi tape, and I never made a video. So guess what I did today? I made you a video. So check that. It's a whole separate video, and if you want to see more things that I made with this washi, go check out that video as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed this overview of La BHV in Paris, the things I bought and the things I made. Hope that this inspired you to get crafty today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and as always, have a crafty day.